After serving 30 years in law enforcement, Chief Daniel Mercer had finally settled into what he called retired command. He wasn't one to sit idle. Instead, he channeled his discipline and leadership into a small, family-run security consulting firm based out of his private home office and detached garage workspace in the quiet suburban community of Meadowstone Grove. The business was fully licensed. No employees came or went, just a couple of SUVs marked with his company's discreet logo parked behind his house. All operations were digital and appointment-based. The garage was converted into a workspace for remote risk analysis and dispatch planning for clients. It was quiet, clean, and above all, legal. Then came the envelope. Notice of violation. You are operating a business within the Meadowstone Grove HOA residential zone in violation of Article 6, Section 12 of the bylaws. Your business presence constitutes a nuisance to the neighborhood. If operations do not cease within 5 business days, you will be fined $250 per day, retroactive to the date of first notice. Daniel raised an eyebrow. He'd reviewed the bylaws when he bought the property and knew them well. He wasn't running a daycare or a mechanic shop. This was consulting, low impact and lawful. Still, he called the HOA to clarify. The woman who answered was snippy and firm. This is a residential neighborhood. We don't allow businesses with visible branding or work-related vehicles. The neighbors have spoken. Chief Mercer responded evenly. There are no customers arriving, no deliveries, no noise, and the vehicles are legally registered. You're not empowered to issue fines for legal home-based work. That didn't matter to the HOA president, Brent Calloway, who responded with an even more aggressive letter the next day, complete with threats of liens, legal action, and additional enforcement through outside counsel. Daniel didn't appreciate being threatened, especially over a lawful business that caused no disturbance, and especially not by a group of neighborhood volunteers misusing their position. At the next HOA board meeting, Daniel showed up, not in jeans or a polo, but in his full police chief uniform, badge gleaming, citations pinned neatly. The room fell into a hush. "Good evening," he said. "I'm here regarding the threats of daily fines for my consulting business. Before you escalate this further, let me remind you, the state of California permits home-based businesses provided they do not create excess traffic, noise, or nuisance." He placed a stack of documents on the table: business license, zoning code, a statement from the city attorney, and a signed permit from the planning department explicitly authorizing his use. He continued, "I served 3 decades as a police officer, most of it commanding special investigations and compliance units. I know exactly what constitutes a nuisance. This isn't it." One board member murmured, "We didn't realize you were—" Daniel held up a hand. "This isn't about who I am. It's about what's lawful. If this board chooses to continue issuing unlawful fines, I will file a formal complaint with the city and, if necessary, initiate civil proceedings for harassment and defamation." Calloway's jaw clenched, but the rest of the board looked visibly relieved to back down. The violation was rescinded the next day. The board issued a lukewarm apology via email, citing a misinterpretation of the bylaws. Daniel accepted it with grace, but didn't forget the tone of those original letters. From that point on, the HOA backed off completely. His neighbors, many of whom didn't even realize he ran a business, voiced support. One even asked him for help setting up their own LLC. In the end, the HOA learned a lesson. Never threaten someone with rules you don't fully understand, especially when they've spent their career enforcing the real ones.